Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another Coinsider live stream. Before I go any further, I just want to make sure that my audio sounds loud and clear. So please, a quick mic check would be greatly appreciated. Um, let's see. As always, I'm your host Kevin, and we do these streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Today, we're going to be talking about what's next for BTC and altcoins, and if there's going to be a consolidation or correction period, especially leading into um, like late September, early October. We're going to be looking at that today, and for those watching the stream afterwards, I will leave timestamps for you to jump around. And as always, if you don't mind giving me a quick like, smash that like button. That would be greatly appreciated. My goal is 100 likes on the stream. We were able to hit it in the last stream, so thank you all for that. I am super grateful for that. Okay, so like I said, today's main segment is going to be what's the forecast for Bitcoin and alts. I'm gonna just go like off track today and not do our usual market pulse. There's not really anything I really want to talk about or look at there, so I want to just jump into a big, beautiful news segment first, which is kind of breaking news. I bet some of y'all haven't heard of this yet. Base may have a network token, okay? So we're going to take a look at that. And one sec. Let me pull up some things and discuss what that potentially means. So check this out. Base is exploring launching a network token according to Jesse Pollock at Basecamp. They're having a big like builders kind of get together event, like weekend conference or something. And Jesse Pollock, the kind of founder of Base, announced that they were exploring launching a network token. Even Base's own profile says Base is beginning to explore a network token. If you remember, before, this said something like Base had no plans to launch a network token or something like that. Right here, let's listen to this together. Wait, let me skip around. You guys can hear this, right? Oh, right here. Oh, sorry. I was at the wrong thing. Okay, sorry. Here you go. You should be able to hear this. Let's listen to this together.
And I'm a little. And so with those as the North Stars, we're going to be exploring a network token for Base. And I will be upfront with y'all. It's early. And I'm a little nervous, like my heart's racing sitting here on stage. And as we thought about sharing this like early exploration, I got all sorts of advice. People telling me don't share it, you need to keep it close to your chest, it's too early. And I sat back in myself and our team sat back in ourselves and we said, what's the base way to do this? And the base way was we do it in the open. We don't have all the answers. We really don't. But we're going to figure it out. And we're going to figure it out together. Because we think this could be a really, really powerful tool for building the global economy that all of us believe in. And as we do that work, I want to make 3 commitments to all of you. The first, and this is just to kill the FUD, we're committed to building on Ethereum. This is the path. People are going to make all kinds of noise, but we benefit from being a part of a connected global economy. The second is that we're going to do this right. We've always done it right. Coinbase has been doing it right for 15 years. And Base, we're going to work with regulators, we're going to work with legislators, we're going to figure out what does it look like to do this in the best possible way. And then finally, we're going to do it in a based way. We're going to build in the...
So, folks, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? I'm really curious to hear what y'all think about. Yeah, so I have mixed feelings because I think it is cool and unique that they don't have a network token and that they're using ETH as the gas coin. Um, but on the other hand, the kind of short-term selfish part of me likes this because retail DAO, anyone in the retail DAO community will likely get an airdrop if it's based on like on-chain activity, because when we trade for retail tokens, we're trading on Base network. When we do governance votes, we do it on-chain, on Base. So we will likely get some part of the airdrop if it's based on like on-chain activity. But I do think, let's see. Yeah, but some people are. You did say you would never launch a token. You'll be lying for no reason. And then someone explained you have to read their statements carefully. They said they have no plans to launch a token. That wording leaves them the option to have plans in the future, aka now. Don't trust corporate statements. Yeah, so they word it very carefully. I mean, they're not committing to launching a token though, right? They just said they're exploring a token. So they could change their mind. Everyone will move to Base just to farm the airdrop. Yeah, potentially. They should come to Retail DAO to do their airdrop farming activities. Um yeah. So let's see what else. But also, I think Brian Armstrong tweeted it too. You know what also I'm wondering about? If Coinbase, okay, look, we're exploring a Base network token. It could be a great tool for accelerating decentralization, expanding creator developer growth. To be clear, there are no definitive plans. We're just updating our philosophy. As of now, we're exploring it. Um, Wendy said, I thought it was cool that Base did not have a token, to be honest. It was unique. I kind of agree. Also, see, look, they said, we do not have plans to issue a new network token for Base, but this was like 2023. This was like more than 2 years ago, so plans change, right? Um, Also, a big question is why do this when they have Coinbase stock? Like you could say, okay, Binance has BNB, and that's super successful for them, right? But Binance doesn't have a stock on like the stock markets, right? So that's a big difference. That's a big difference because if people like are bullish on Coinbase, right? Do they buy coin stock or do they buy the Base network token? That, my friend, is a big food for thought for Jesse Pollock and Brian Armstrong. I think they have to be careful there because, like, if the Base network token is doing amazing, but people are like, I don't care about Coinbase stock, then their shareholders might be pissed. Right? I think it's. I mean, I do think it could help them decentralize the network more. And I personally would probably buy and hold Base token, but they have other things to juggle. Like, I don't think I would own both Coinbase stock and the Base token. I wouldn't do that personally. But chat, let me know if you agree or disagree here. Okay. And I said, if there's a airdrop, retail DAOs will most likely be eligible because of our organic activity on chain. Okay, so that is that. I'm gonna move quickly. I'm gonna move to a market discussion. What's the forecast for Bitcoin and altcoins? You guys are gonna want to strap in for this. Uh, Let me pull up some stuff. Okay, so this was brought up in the past, where when altcoin open interest over Bitcoin open interest, that has typically marked the tops before, like local tops, not like cycle tops necessarily, but local tops. And people were like, "Pay time to pay attention." The local top, look, you see this local top when Alt OI over Bitcoin OI, and we usually get a wash. But there's some nuance. There's always nuance. You can never just trust these charts that said, "Oh, it happened in the past, so it has to happen again." Never trust that. There's always nuance. Let's check it out. Demystifying more bearish hyperbole, which is just lazy analysis. First of all, this is not a comment on alts possibly being stretched. Maybe they are, don't care. But the general gist being described is that when Alt OI approaches BTC OI, that is suggestive of a local top. Let's evaluate this top in December 2024, which was the height of the AI agent bubble. So they're saying that OI is being weighted by price. Fast forward to here, it appears that orange and blue are once again touching, but there is a clear difference here. What is it exactly? The units are 10% higher, so why are the colors touching? Blah, blah, blah. You can also just use your eyes and see that Alt OI by price is not much different than it was during May or June. This is kind of... One other piece of useful confluence that might at least indicate some saturation is the Alt OI market cap ratio, which is actually almost 2x where it was in July. Context matters. Here's a better one. Nick, who is a great analyst, doesn't always get things right, but I respect his analysis, says this is much less like March and December 24th crossovers and more like December 23rd at present. Could change if you get a massive short liquidation event into next week and late longs pile into spiking funding. Still provides some confluence for a multi-week whipsaw going into early to mid-October. So he is predicting... Oh, right here. ChatGPT came to a similar conclusion here after I fed all these charts in. Past crossovers signaled end phase alt season blow-offs fueled by euphoric longs with no dry powder left. This crossover signals pre-phase potential. Leverage is already there, but it's balanced / shorter with capital still on the sidelines. So this funding differential is so important. It's squeeze-ready conditions. He says we could run a few days post FOMC. This is the Fed decision, depending on how positioning looks. But broadly, the late September to early October looks like a window of weakness. So just be on the lookout for that, folks. If we could... Where is it? Where did he say that? Like squeeze the shorts? Where did Nick post that? Right here. Liquidate the shorts, then liquidate the longs. So that should be exciting to see if that scenario plays out. Wait, who's fudding? I'm just considering different analysis. No one's fudding. Um, Here's another piece of like something that could impact the markets. Goldman Sachs is predicting three consecutive 25 basis point cuts in September, October, and December, followed by two more cuts next year. A 50 basis point cut is also possible in September if the labor market deteriorates more quickly. And also this, the U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent says that the next round of U.S.-China trade talks could result in another 90-day tariff pause. This is such a joke, like all these tariff pauses. Like, I don't even believe that there's something to be really taken seriously anymore or to be worried about. This would be the third straight pause for a total of 270 days, almost an entire year. Like, that's kind of crazy. Now, something else I want to look at is um one sec. Something I want to look at that I got a pro subscription, not a pro, but like the first pay tier is Alfractal. Um this is like whatchamacallit. This is like Glassnode or CryptoQuant, but newer, and they have some interesting analytics and charts. Oh, and by the way, you guys are hearing it here first. Retail DAO Pro and VIP members get a special discount, larger than usual discount on Alfractal. I have not announced this yet. We will announce this after the stream, but that's yet another reason. Reason number 53 why you should join Retail DAO and why it's worth every penny and you should upgrade to Pro tier or VIP tier. By the way, if you don't know what Retail DAO is, just check out my link in the description. But anyhow, let's take a look at some of this stuff. Cryptos. Okay. Um, let's take a look at some of these cycle stuff. I'm kind of looking at this with you too, but I don't really believe in these like 4-year cycle kind of fractal thingies. Yeah, I don't really believe in that. Um, Pi cycle. Look at Pi cycle. It's not even close to like crossing this cycle. So yeah, it's not even close to crossing. If you are a Pi cycle believer, then you don't think the top is anywhere near in. Bull market comparison. Okay, let's see. This is interesting. Max intersect. Uh, Here, let me pull it up on the CEO of right here. Check this out. Wondering if Bitcoin has already hit its all-time high? Look no further than the most accurate BTC chart ever. The only one that has called every single all-time high in every cycle to the exact day. Max intersect, simple moving average model. Hasn't signaled, but it's close. Um, Basically, what it does is it takes the previous cycle's all-time high, draws a line across, and when that meets the smart model SMA or like moving average per se, then that will mark the top for this current or the following cycle per se. It is quite impressive that it has worked before, but like right here, you see it here. Top in this cycle, draw it across. When it touches this blue like SMA line, it marks the top for the following cycle. And has done that 4 times so far. Will it do it a fifth time? Not sure, but it's not quite there yet. It's, if you see here, it's not quite there yet. But it's close. It's close. Top price of previous all-time high was like 69 or something like that. K. And the smart model is, wait, let me just go back to his. Yeah, right now the model is at 58,000 and when it hits 69,000. So there's room to run, but it's like semi close though. It's what this particular cycle model is talking about, right? If you believe in cycle models. Let's see. MACD is bullish. RSI is reasonable. Summary very bullish. This is interesting. The Alfractal. Crypto market has gotten too hot. I'm sitting out. Crypto market is too hot, bro. The stock market is even hotter right now. All-time highs. Wait, let me show you guys this. Let me show you guys this. Right here. S&P all-time high, Nasdaq all-time high, gold all-time high. Bitcoin 3 daily reds and massive underperformance across the board. So, are you sure that crypto's the one that's too hot? The other markets, the stocks and commodity markets are even hotter. Max intersect SMA. Yeah. Sopper. Okay, let's take a look at that. I think Alfractal has that too. MVRV right here. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing too crazy right now in terms of the MVRV. It's still kind of low. MVT. Nupal. Oh, I need a professional plan for that. Market temperature. Interesting. Interesting. Definitely doesn't look like overextended. I'm just checking this out. I haven't dug into. I just bought this subscription today with our retail Dow discount. Interesting. Live hodl based reserve risk. Oh dang. Okay. Price models. Oh, you wanted. There we go. Spent output profit ratio. That's what Maverick wanted. Long term holder Sopper. A spike here, spike here. Ooh, we had a big spike here, apparently. Long-term holder Sopper. I mean, Sopper doesn't look like the most long-term holder, short-term holder Sopper ratio. After doesn't look like the most reliable signal, to be honest with you. Long-term MVRV. Yeah, this is still low. Long-term holder Nupal. Interesting. So, so Maverick, if you like these charts, you should check on chain. Is that better? Yeah, if everything's hot, it's just a general debasement. You're right, Galaroo. You are right. Check on chain. Is that better? I think this one has way more stuff. I think you should join Retail DAO, get at least Pro tier, and get our discount for this. Let's see if check on chain. Check on chain. View charts. Okay, let's see. Magic lines. Euphoria. R hodl. Yeah, R hodl. This is kind of chilling right now, you know. Inflation adjusted price. Ooh, this is interesting. Inflation adjusted price. Interesting. There's a lot of stuff to look at here, though. Long-term holder. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this looks like it's spike here. Spike here. Dang, there's a lot of stuff here. Check on chain. Interesting. Interesting. Um, global liquidity. US liquidity total. Fed balance sheet. Still QT right now. Quantitative tightening. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, folks. Like I said, this particular stream, I want to make it a little bit different than usual. I'll be back at it Wednesday with a more structured and regular stream. I was kind of late with this one and didn't really have like too much stuff like on my radar that I wanted to talk about today. The base network token, definitely that was huge, and then I wanted to talk about this discussion of like what comes next for September and October for Bitcoin and altcoins. Um, yeah, so I'll just leave it at that. Back on next or this coming Wednesday, I'll do the KOL call tracker. I'll do the change my mind and the market pulse and everything. But This was really great. Just chatting with y'all semi quickly on a fine Monday. And yeah, I think if you don't mind smashing that like button, my goal is 100 likes on the stream. I will keep this one short. I'll let you all go. I will see you all on Wednesday. I'm Kevin. I'm your host. This is the Coinsider live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Have a great rest of your day and great start to your week, folks. Catch y'all later.